Hey, this is Sean from the Heavy Underground Farm Report and Hufferfest, and I've got John Gist. And it's a big day for John. Hey, John, how you doing?
Chilling.
You're chilling. You're chilling. Excuse me, with like the best lineup. Man, I've seen your show. I've gone to your show 3 times, and like I'm looking at this year's lineup, and for me, somehow this is the best lineup ever.
Oh,
And I was
stop.
thinking that before this morning, and now it's even better. So you got Mothership and Siena Root, man. That's freaking
I
amazing.
I mean, listen. First off, I'm extremely thankful for you and people like you that have supported this thing for, since the reboot, 4 years
So
ago.
awesome.
And I'm thankful for a lot of people just snagging tickets. Announced it today. I've gotten like over a handful plus of tickets. Those
That's awesome.
those pre-sale early birds are almost gone, and so it'll be just a few more bucks after that. But
Sure.
Mothership, I mean, I got a good history. I got a history with Mothership. Put it that way. I love that album.
Me too.
I've told them over and over, and I almost want to say, hey, let me print. I want to do a T-shirt with that, the
I
cover
would
of that
buy
album.
that shirt.
I've told them that, but
I
I'm
have a little story about buying that
I'm
album, but you go
drunk and having a good
first.
time at a concert and telling them that, and they're like, God, I need to hear this. You know what I mean? From this guy. It's like, "Rah, rah, rah, this is amazing. But Kelly these boys are sober now. So my fifth show I ever did was at the dive bar, which is anything goes kind of place, honestly.
Okay.
Um, it was like my fifth show ever, and I had Sasquatch and House of Broken Promises booked for a show, and I'm fired up. It's the biggest show I've ever had,
Yeah.
and I get hit up by the booking agent, by a booking agent, and says, because I booked those with just right to the bands, but then this booking agent goes, "Hey man, listen, I'm gonna be doing the same date, and I got Truck Fighters and Mothership,
Yeah.
so I doubt you want to compete. You should just take the whole show." And I'm like, how much? And it was like so much, and I didn't. Back then, I didn't even like counter offer. I mean, it cost a lot of money. Now, don't get me wrong, I was we had a lot of people there, like
I
100 plus
bet.
people at this little dive bar. But and I was partying like crazy back then. Kelly was at least somber. It was all kinds of things going on. And then Keith from Sasquatch, what an animal that guy is. Too bad he's not around in the scene anymore. But yeah, so hung out with those guys all night. Kelly, Psycho Vegas, the things that Kelly and Kyle and Judge have done on stage with the people they've done it with, it's pretty. Today yesterday I did a little look back at
Okay.
Mothership just to kind of get a feel for a few things, because I was like, I know they toured with Courage Conformity, and I found a website where you can just literally scroll
Oh,
down and down and
cool.
down, and they toured like crazy from the mid to like the 210s, particularly the later edge of it, the
Okay.
last half. They did some amazing tour shows. They got on early with all kinds of bands. The Skull they toured with, and like I think they did shows with Crowbar.
Oh,
And
no.
it goes on and on. Like
Oh, right on.
Beastmaker, and I mean, they're much bigger bands. I just don't have them all on the top of my head. But I was like, God damn, you know what I mean? And Kelly moved out of he met a girl, you know, and so he moved out to Arizona. Then he moved somewhere else. I don't remember where it was. It feels like it's somewhere up in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
And I don't know if folks remember, but Kelly posted on Instagram when his van got stolen. But they had a video camera on the street. And so all you see is this fan flying by the screen, and then a loud crash.
Oh,
And
no.
his van was trashed, you know what I mean? Like total. But it was like when you watch the video, you're like, holy shit! Like you're it takes you back in almost a humorous way for a slight second. We know it's so bad, and Kelly's such a nice guy. But anyways, he moved back to Texas. I'm not even sure why I told you that story, really. But people look it up on Instagram. You'll see
We will.
when Kelly has
Okay.
video of his van getting wrecked.
Wow. Okay.
Jesus. Anyways, he moved back. They moved back to Texas, to Dallas, which is where he's from. And I don't know. I followed along and kept in touch when I can with the guys, and I'm so glad it worked out. A big thanks to Todd Severin with some help along the way. Like
Right
a
on.
big thanks. Of course, they'll be headlining Ripple Music Showcase that Friday at Planet Desert Rock in 2027.
I can't wait,
Already
man. That's
got
gonna be awesome.
a few Ripple bands on there. I mean, Florist is on
Yeah.
there, and then Stake is on
I'm
there.
so excited to see those guys.
Yeah, and there's another band, but I can't say yet. I can't say yet that I believe it's going to be a Ripple is going to be a Ripple band, but I can't say that right now. So
All right. Well, we will probably have to do this again.
you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah, of course.
So you love Sergeant Thornhoff, right? If I remember
You know I
correctly.
do. You know I love those guys. I absolutely
Same
do.
here. They're going to play two very special songs just for us.
Oh man, what are they gonna play?
They're going to play the song from the Split that they did with Howling Giant, which is like 20 fucking minutes long.
That's like one
Yeah.
of my favorite albums that I own.
I don't know
love
if they've ever even played it live before, but I'm not going to advertise that way. But they're going to play exclusively in case they do other shows in the U.S., whatever. But that's going to be that. And the other one is a song that I think is one of their top 2-3 best ever made songs. It's catchy as hell, really highlights an amazing vocals by Dan Flickroff. And that's the song Absolute Blue.
That's Andrea's favorite song by Sergeant
Yes, I would
Thunderbolt.
imagine ladies and guys were really like.
I love it
and
too.
there's some creative storytelling in there, really some poignant lyrics that stick right
She
with
loves
you.
that song so much. She's gonna be stoked.
Yeah.
Andrea, if you're listening, I don't know what you're doing, but if you are,
It's-
you're
I thank you so much to Dan for saying yes to that. And just like
so
thank
cool.
you to Kyle, Kelly, and Judge over Mothership. They agreed. I think the best song they've ever done. Okay, notice the nice shirt here.
I know it's nice. We didn't wear the same shirt this time. That's
Oh God, thank God. People start talking. And so I love Mothership since the very, very, very beginning. Just like King Buffalo and some of these other bands, since like the first demos and everything else. And the best song in my opinion, the rock and roll song that they've written, not like long jams and heavy this, but just rock and roll is the song City Nights.
okay.
It's gonna be all right.
That's so.
Yeah.
I can
And
tell
they're
how
gonna play that,
excited
and
you
that's
are.
super fucking awesome.
That
So, and guys, I mean, you've seen Mothership, right, or no?
no. So
Oh,
here, let me
geez.
give you my little rundown on Mothership. So I didn't discover Mothership till late, and I had heard of them and I heard a couple songs, but I was in a record store and I found this record.
Nice.
And I was like, I know that band name. I mean, I know that's like a stoner rock band. And I was like, and this Ripple, yeah. So I was like very early into getting albums, and most of the stuff I heard just was on playlists, and I wasn't really listening to a lot of albums.
Yes.
Like, I mean, besides like Fu Manchu and Earthless and stuff that,
Okay.
like I was, but like the more fringe kind of bands, I would consider them that then, not now, but I grabbed that album and it was like reasonably priced, and I took it home and I put it on, and I was like, I was blown away, like the same way I was like blown away when I heard like a band like Earthless or it was like, oh, this band is really, really good and this album is fantastic. And then I had a brief moment. I was like, God, what happened in that fucking guy's life that made him sell this album? Why is this available used? And then,
Right.
So I was like into it right away and listened to their other stuff. But I like, that was kind of like the first Ripple album I ever bought too. So,
Oh
yeah.
wow, cool. And this was when?
Oh man, this had to be like 7 or 8 years ago. So,
Yeah.
just like when I was coming out of my fog from rehab, and I was really getting into music, and I really had to find something, positive to focus on. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah,
That's killer.
yeah, it was cool.
I've seen them live a bunch, including Ripple Fest at least 2 times, I think. They just played last year and they're amazing.
Yeah,
They're on this massive stage and the lights are going and all that shit. For this one, it's going to be wild because we're going to be like up close and personal with them.
I love that.
And everyone's got to hope that they get some sweat from Kelly. Hopefully, takes his shirt off. And he is a wild man on guitar. He is one to watch. He's got great expressions. He kind of gets possessed sometimes, so the face gets all weird.
Sweet.
Now maybe now that he's sober, maybe that doesn't happen as much. But we'll see. I like.
Or maybe it happens even more.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Maybe
never
that's
know.
it.
I love that. I
it's gonna
love
be
Mario's
super
kid
fucking-
from Fatso Jetson is like, I love watching that guy play guitar.
Who's that?
Did you say Fatso Jetson's guitar player?
Oh yeah.
Did you mention it? I thought you said that. I
No.
thought you mentioned him. Well, I'm just.
No, I didn't mention that. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you said.
Fatso Jetson. I mean, I like Fatso Jetson, but I didn't
My
bring him
God.
up. Stoner
Well, we
alert.
can't edit this out.
Stoner
God
alert.
damn it.
Is anyone listening even?
Yes, John. I'm listening. John, Jason's listening. I got Eric. Jam on Eric. Yeah.
Who's Eric?
He's a.
Oh,
Eric,
don't worry about it.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
Eric, we'll do a full bio on you later. Thanks for
Not
listening. I
really.
appreciate
Let's not
it.
do that.
No, we're
I'm
going to do an
joking.
expose.
I might like this, Eric, but no, let's not do that. They're just a wild ass good live band, great energy. The crowd, you just watch and everyone gets into it, and just thankful, they trusted me enough and to come on out and be part of this. Yeah,
man, that's cool.
they're real good
Well,
live. I mean, they're real.
I'm absolutely thrilled. So, like, do you want to talk about the second band? Because they're pretty good too. I've been listening to them all afternoon, and I was I'm most familiar with their more recent album, and they just fucking rock, and the vocals are great. And you were telling me they have update to their lineup, right?
It's not really that much of an update, but like
Okay.
they were the first 10, 15 years of their existence. I mean, these guys have been around since like the late 90s. So,
Right on.
they were male vocals all throughout the very most of the time frame this
Yeah.
band's been around. And I think they switched. They may even add another female before this. But the newest incarnation, which has a live album and a studio album, so the last 2 releases are with her. And
Yeah,
she steps up. She sounds great. My buddy, I sent it to him, Billy, from over in New Smyrna Beach, my high school buddy. I sent it to him, and he goes, reminds me of a cross between like Janis Joplin and Ann Wilson from Heart. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, she can really sing.
Yeah.
The album I was listening to this morning or this afternoon was just like, it's infectious. It's like, man, it's so good. You know what it's like? And that's a good comparison with those singers too, because I really got a good 70s feel out of that, in the best possible way. I mean that in the most positive way possible.
I mean, for me, 70s, I'm all good. Forever.
Me
and
too,
days.
man.
70s to 90s, I'll take it forever if there's some influence. That's the pinnacle of rock and roll of those 2 decades. And
Yeah.
I've known about these guys and liked them for, God, probably 10, 15 years. And
They got a hold of you, right?
yeah, just somehow or another I get a message from them on Instagram. They go, "This looks pretty neat," or something. I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
It is.
So
pretty neat.
we start chatting a little bit more, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, it happens once in a while. Like a bigger band will bring it up. Beastmaker did, Solace did, and it's kind of a no-brainer,
yeah.
You just got to work through everything else. So, listen, this band is so impressive. The last few days I've been looking around their YouTube. They got like a page that they have their own YouTube, like TV or whatever, but then they're like label or something as a shit ton of their videos, like Phoenix something or other. And my God, I mean,
That's what I was checking out today.
there are
Seriously.
so many videos in the last 2, 3 years, and they're usually taken with live, and then it's produced with, over some other stuff. I mean, using the live settings, but then they're like out in the snow next thing you know, and they're riding horseback on one end. Look at one of them is a Shetland pony. They barely showed it, and they showed the drummer. I don't, I'm probably one of the only people that noticed this. You know what I mean? Like they showed it, and it's like a little short Shetland pony.
Oh, that's
but
hilarious.
the other one, they're like holding on to it and they're barebacking. I'm like,
What? Okay.
what an idea! That's pretty creative. But then the Shetland pony thing, I just wonder.
Oh my God, man! I'm looking on YouTube right now, and that you're right. There are like a ridiculous amount of videos here
With pretty
Okay.
hefty amount of views for most of them for the last 3, 4 years.
Yeah,
So
you're right. Wow. People,
they're
you gotta check that out.
following. They're following not only they're following on Facebook is strong, and Instagram is strong, and Spotify. They got more than most bands that would be around and about in our scene. So I think it's going to be amazing to have such a cool retro set again, because I think that's
Yes.
important. And we're going to break out the Hammond organ sound again, just like we had with Paralyzed, which
I love that.
was just amazing. So
Yes.
it's an honor to have. I mean, these guys are literally one of the longest running heavy psych retro bands in Sweden and Europe, whatever. You know what I mean? They've been around a long time.
Did they
And
tell you how
so-
they found out about your festival?
What's that?
Did they tell you how they found out about your festival?
No, I didn't ask. I mean,
Fair enough.
stuff kind of floats around, but
Sure.
the band Quill played this
Yes.
year. They've been around for like 30 years. They don't really seem like the same type of music, so I don't know if they were traveling the same waters, or Germ, who was before that. These are all Swedish bands, and Greenleaf is coming. So the more Swedish bands, the better. I'll take.
For sure.
Fucking
I love
cool.
Germ so much. That was
Same here.
of
I-
all like
I
I've
touched
seen
base on it a
so.
little bit, and it's maybe a little early, and I gotta, yeah, they're
They were
coming.
great.
I mean, I just gotta, pony up and do other stuff. So
Cool. So, how many more bands, John, are you gonna be announcing? You talked about one already. How close are you to filling your lineup?
6 more bands,
Okay.
and I don't have actually anything booked yet. So, but I have all my offers out for the
Yeah.
even more than 6, which is because we know that a bunch of them are gonna blow you off, or just not gonna work out. So.
Sure.
Man, I'd be happy. Real happy. If these certain 3 happen, it's game changing. It's
It's
be
game
exciting.
changing at this
It'll be
point.
game
Well, you already have Mothership and Greenleaf, and
Black
Sergeant
Rainbows.
Thunderhoof and Black Rainbows, the best rock band in the world.
There you go.
Um,
But yeah, there's more to be added. And I think more often it's gonna be middle upper part of the lineup versus lower. I have one band from Europe I've been talking to for like a month. Never been here. I would consider them, band would be, down there a little bit on the lower part of the thing. I just hand chose them because I think they're great, and more people would love them, and America would love them. But, they got to figure some stuff out.
all right.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
it's
amazing.
Crazy,
Like,
but it's already
crazy.
April, dude.
It's
We're
so,
just 10 months away.
John, when I know you have to start planning this before the current year is even over. How much of your lineup did you have ready to go when Planet Doesn't Rock 6 ended?
Well, I think I had made my list, which is just like a rudimentary first draft kind of list.
Okay.
To just look at and reach out to some and start. But there's always some that are like carryovers from the previous years chatting with that just couldn't make it happen this year. So then we try the next year. That's the way it was with Sergeant Thunderhoof and a few other bands like that in the past.
Cool.
So, yeah.
That's
I mean,
so.
yeah.
Do you
I mean,
ever
dude,
like? Do you ever? Some of
I
these
may be too
questions I'm
consumed with
asking
it at times.
selfishly. I'm asking some of these questions selfishly for sure. But
Oh,
do you like get what? Do you take time off after your festival, or is it just
no.
go, or do you have like a month? Do you? Is it just?
No, I
It's
like doing this. It's fun.
yeah,
I'll keep going.
yeah. I
I
bet
really want it. I want it to be successful and impactful for the scene. And
it is, John.
it's my baby piece of art, whatever we want to label it, and it means a lot. It's a purpose in life, for
Yeah.
me. As
No, I
I'm
get it.
pseudo retired, but this just means a lot to me, and I just want to make a difference in the scene, getting more people involved with it, liking our music, not just the headliners. So that's
Yeah,
I, Sean. One thing I noticed when I'm on Reddit and even on some of the Facebook group pages,
yeah.
people are nonstop talking about this 10 or 15 bands, and it's just over and over and over. And I'm starting to question whether they know anything else, these fans, but these, like it's all the time Slow Mosa, all the time King Buffalo, all the time All Them Witches,
Right.
all the time Elder,
There's
Sleep,
so
which is
so.
just, I don't even, yeah.
See, you're inspiring in that way to me as a guy who's putting on a show here in Denver. Like, I love that when I go to your show, I'm going to know a couple of the bands or maybe half the bands, but I'm not going to know the other half of the bands. But I know you know them, and I know that I can trust your judgment on these bands. So I view it
Likewise.
as this amazing opportunity to become a fan of a band that I haven't had a chance to see before, or maybe that I'm not familiar with their songs. Maybe I listen to every band before I come out, but maybe not for like
Yeah, yeah,
deep dives, right?
yeah.
So like Sergeant Thunderhoof was a good example. I really liked them, and I listened to their albums a few times, and I was like, yeah, those guys are great. And then I saw them, and it was like, okay, well, that's like next level stuff.
Yeah.
And
No.
like Black Rainbows was that, or not Black Rainbows, but Black Elephant was like that for a lot of people that I sat with a couple years ago, and I
Yeah,
was
I
really
remember you saying
familiar with
that.
those guys, and people are like, yeah, and then they watch them and they get to discover them, and you get to talk to the guys after the show,
Yeah.
and man. So I think
That band gets into it too. So it's engaging.
yeah,
The guitarist and sometimes singer, you know, he's moving around doing his
yeah, it
thing,
is. It was
Yeah,
great.
I think there's part of it is an experiential thing that seeing a really good band live who can present the music good live, which has been a hallmark of what we try to do. It can sometimes trigger the brain and push us over so we start listening to the recorded stuff more. We pay more attention because of that.
Exactly. No,
Um,
totally.
I think that's an important part of being a good band is, being good live, and at the same time being the right songs and stuff that's memorable, that jams. Again, I'm a guy who likes good vocals. I like good songwriting. I like memorable stories at times,
Yep.
and other times can be other things, but the true nature of what rock is founded on, like Saturna this year, people were just like, I mean, I looked at people's faces and they're like, holy
I
shit.
know I was.
Like this was the second band of the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Well,
knew they were that much pros because I'd had them like 6 years before that. And so
they were
7 years, geez. And so I knew
mind
that they
blowing.
were, with this album, they had stepped it up. They have this newer guitarist that he's in another band too. And he's an unbelievably good addition to it. He looks like he's Swedish and he's from Spain. He's got
Yeah.
like even got a European name, some other, but
Yeah.
man, they just kill. And James
They
Bianco
kill.
is one of the best singers in the scene, period. There's no, it's not, he's in that upper echelon, you know? I mean,
I love
hey,
that
I
too.
think Arvid from Greenleaf that's coming is one of those guys too. Different kind of vocals, but I'm really.
I can't even tell you how excited when you announced Greenleaf. I was like,
I told them
I
they could
was
play
gonna
for
go
3 hours.
anyway,
I don't
but
give two fuck. I don't give two shits. 3 hours? No. I mean, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll
I
book
was
one less band if they want to play.
I. That is so weird that you said that because I literally had that conversation about Greenleaf today with Andrea before he came on the show, and I was like, you know, that's a band I want to see play for a couple hours.
Yeah.
It's
They're
like,
going to play a nice long set.
dude,
They
they're
already told me that.
freaking
So
so
I'm like, how long can you
badass.
play for? And they gave me the range. I'm like, we might be able to work with that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And as of now, they're the headliner for one of the
As
nights.
of now,
Yeah.
damn.
If this one band happens and they end up on the same night, it's going to be hard for them, the other one not to, but stay tuned because that may not happen.
What kind of pressure do you feel like curating the actual lineup? Like that, like
I
does
don't
it
feel any
just
pressure,
feel
man.
natural to you? Or is it just like, oh, this is the obvious?
Probably a little bit natural, but I learned the hard way. So there's that. And I think you can pick up speed and be more strategic after you've lost a
Yeah.
few times. And our failures in life can help us. Sometimes
Oh,
they
yeah.
can fucking scar you forever, and that's I have those too. So let's be honest. But
Sure.
in this, I mean, I was like, I'm never doing this again after the second one, and then I started really tiny, and people just said, "Go, go, go."
Right.
But it feels. I'm just not. I feel very comfortable that I've built a reputation good enough that people don't mind like and know that if you come play Vegas Rock Revolution or Planet is Rock, people are going to know about it. And I care about the sound, I care about the production, and I'm going to surround them with other really cool bands, and not just filler. I just don't play filler. I get hit up by bands I've never heard of in my life, and my first thing is I'm like, you know what? You're probably being pretty disrespectful, is what I think to myself, because they're like, oh, let me get on there. That means they probably don't know the bands that are on the lineup already to kind of, position themselves. But nonetheless, I've had bands that are like metal hit me up. I'm like, dude, did you not check it out?
I've
I'll
had
tell
I've
them,
had
like,
metal
no.
bands hit
Like,
me
I'm
up
not
about
doing
your
a
show.
fucking
Yeah, your show's not a metal
hardcore
show.
band. I'm sorry. There's a lot of them. Go. Yeah. I'll even tell people where to go. So now.
By the way, I really appreciate that your show is pretty streamlined and the type of bands that streamline's bullshit because it's not streamlined because you have a wide variety of bands, but there's not metal and there's not like
it's not slow doom much.
Yeah, and I like that because I like metal too, and I'll go see metal, and I like going to other festivals and seeing metal too.
Anytime we want. Metal's not going anywhere. It's been everywhere. It dominates. It's always at every single festival I go to. I have a stoner metal band almost every year. It seems.
Yes.
But I call them stoner metal. They're just not. But there's so much good heavy psych.
I know, and I don't think heavy psych gets it like. So what I like is that you really give heavy psych a stage, and it doesn't necessarily happen to the extent that you provide at a lot of other festivals. And so that's really what I got into the scene for, like Earthless was my gateway into into deeper stuff. And man, I tell this story probably every time you're on, like when you announced Space Slug for the first time I went to one of your shows, it was like, oh, Space Slug, well, I'm fucking going to that. And, but I like that. I want to see a band like Solace or like, I'll tell you, one of my favorite sets of all time at Planet Desert Rock was Beastmaker's set.
Oh, wow.
A couple of years ago. I was right up front for that. I fucking it's not my usual thing.
Yeah.
But damn, they fucking brought it. They brought it like it was going to be their last show ever.
It might have been.
Because it probably was, right? So
we're in a haunt,
But dude, so yeah, you do have you've brought some of that metal edge, but yeah, I really appreciate the fact that I get to go see a band like Sergeant Thunderhoof or Siena Root or the Devil and the Almighty Blues last
Yeah,
year,
that was
and
cool.
it's like it's a really unique opportunity to get to see that with especially with a bunch of my friends, so we get to talk about it right after it happens. So
Yeah, yeah. It's a cool little venue too. You
oh
can go
yeah,
outside and hang out and smoke real quick. You know, I just caution people not to get stuck out there. So you got to get inside. That's where the music is. You
John,
know
you
what I
won't
mean?
let anybody get stuck out there because
There
you like
are.
walk out there like you're our dad, and I'm like, oh shit, we better go in now. John's like, get the hell in there.
Every
And
once
yeah,
in a while,
but
I have to.
but I'm
People don't
glad
too
though.
comfortable. I'm like, I think the band's starting.
I love
Because
it.
no one
I
else is
love
going to
it, dude.
tell
You
them
know what I
that.
love about you doing that? Like that's how much you care about the music, and it's like you fuckers have all day to talk. The band is playing
It's
now,
really more about the
and I
band.
love that, man.
I just want the bands to
I
have
know you do. It's like
people's full attention because
you're so passionate
they're gonna
about
play
it.
their heart out for us,
I
and
know.
they kill it. And these are great bands. I always give Dan Sierras a hard time though. He like literally missed like 3 of the sets. One time he's talking to some guy he just met that's part owner of the venue. I'm like, dude, he like missed Wolf Tooth a lot of it or something. I'm like, what?
That's
Stoner metal.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that man, fuck, they kicked ass.
Yeah, a lot of people are surprised about them. Like somehow or another, they're
Yeah,
pretty popular too. Somehow or another, flew under some people's radar, and yeah,
it's cool to see those bands live because
I
not
think so too.
those bands aren't likely to roll through Denver very often, or a band
No,
like Phantom Hound. Although I'm going to make sure they roll through Denver in
ooh, I bet,
2027. So,
I bet.
yeah, no, they're
I
great.
get a little foreshadowing there. Yeah, like the band Shun and Sundrifter. They're not going to be going out on massive tours or anything like that. And Sundrifter, I'm telling people, go listen to their last 2 albums. You're going to be like,
Oh, they're
whoa,
kick
because
ass.
it's different. And the singer sings like an angel. You know what I mean? And he does it to like some spacey kind of like very interesting guitar work. They got a lot of atmosphere to them. It almost feels futuristic and nicest guys ever. I just saw both of them at Ripfest just a couple,
Oh,
or
right
like
on.
last year, and I said, hey, by the way, you want to maybe do this, and let's talk, soon. So yeah, and Sean, I got to see them for the first time at Ripfest, and they sounded so good, like, and it was outdoors even. So I can imagine what it's gonna be like in that nice space at Usual Place with good, sound that they'll be able to create this more energy and atmosphere at the same time for those 2 bands. I think
Yeah,
that
I
those
dig
kind of
those
things I
guys.
really look forward to.
Yeah, back when
And
I was
Forest,
doing a
I think,
lot
is
of
going to be a wild experience.
they're gonna that man, those guys are bad. You have like your show's ridiculous. It's crazy. I can't wait.
Come
You know
on.
the best thing about your show, for me, is that I get to go to it.
Yeah, same here. And I do
Like
not stress out about it hardly at all. The
that's
only thing I
cool.
stressed out a little bit this year was I don't know what the deal was with the door. They didn't open it up quick enough, and it was like dragging on. I've already talked with the owner, and he even kind of said like, "Yeah, I don't know what's up. We're gonna make sure a couple things are adjusted," and that's why I did the
Okay,
VIP tickets so I can get
that's cool.
people in where they're gonna fast pass in instead of going through the whole, security check and getting your name on the
Yeah,
list or whatever the hell they they do. Make sure no one's on a
you know what?
most wanted
I didn't
list on
even
that.
notice that. I like honestly did not notice that.
The
I mean,
line is really long, and it didn't.
I like talking
Anyway,
to everybody out there.
that's great. But for me,
Yeah, sure.
we have
I understand this.
schedules,
Oh, dude,
um,
I know. I
and I
would.
don't want the first band to be playing to people with half the people outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
in 3 weeks, I will be equally as stressed about that. I'm sure. So yes, I can.
just
Dude,
smoke a
this
little
is such
along
a
the way. You'll be all
perspective
right.
changer for me.
Huh?
Like, this is such a
What's that?
perspective changer for me.
Yeah, but you got a partner in this,
I know,
and
Seth, you're on right now. Seth's listening, dude.
that's gonna do all the work anyways. Don't worry about it. So,
I
no, I'm
he is doing
joking.
like honestly, he like I'm just the voice. Seth has done so much behind the scenes work
I
and
mean,
has
it's a
made this so
partnership.
much.
Both of you doing a bunch of stuff. That's what you do.
Dude, it's fun. It's fun, but if someone would have told me like this is exactly how much work this is going to take, and you got to learn all these new skills, and you got to talk to all these people that you're not used to talking to, I don't
Like
know if I would
who?
have done it. But
Tell me
like
a little
once
bit
you're
about
like
it.
a couple months in, you're fuck. Well, I can't cancel it. I got to learn all this shit and do it.
Oh God.
But it's been a
Tell me
blast, and
about
I've had
some of
fun.
those challenges that, from the outside, people look, oh, cool, maybe I should do a festival. What are some of the challenges that people that, weren't thinking about it much and thought, all right, I'm going to do it. What
So
were some of those things that you were like, I got to get a new skill set for it and stuff?
So selling tickets is without a doubt for me the most stressful part of this.
It always is.
And you know what? I think I had some of these dreams of, well, I'm going to announce my lineup and I'm going to tell people I have a festival and shit, that's going to sell out in like 5 days, and like, yeah, it's funny, right? But I was like, ah, man, people like be lining up and fucking kicking my door down to
Yeah.
hand me their money. And I learned that it was a lot more work to do marketing and get the word out about your show and getting like I think I had this weird perception that the world was like happening on Facebook and Instagram, and then you start going to shows and you're like, how many of these people here do I not know? And these people came to the show. They didn't like just any random show in Denver. Most of the people that show up, I don't know them on Facebook. Maybe they don't use Facebook at all. Maybe they don't use Instagram at all. So I realized, oh
They
fuck,
probably,
but I gotta figure out different ways to like
all right,
reach
listen,
people and talk to people and use and market through
Sean,
the band. Yeah, go ahead.
let's talk after the show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I learned, John. I
And I
learned
can
that
help.
yeah, I appreciate that, but I
And
guess
I've
to your
already been
point.
meaning to talk to you anyway, so we'll talk offline. It's not about
Yeah,
me.
but to your point,
But
bud,
yeah,
so it's so much more work than I expected, but it's also way, way, way more fun than I expected it to be. So
were you the one that had to create a ticket link?
yeah, we got to talk about that.
I don't know.
The ticket link thing. Are you talking about what I did already, or are you like use it?
No,
What
yeah, no, I mean the process of setting up a ticket
Oh
link.
yeah, so that
You
was
were the one that had to do it, or did Seth?
so I did all that. So I had to make the
Ooh,
web. So I'd never built a website before in my life.
you have a website?
Yeah, it's www.hufferfest.com. You should check it out. It's like
HUFR.
yeah. Did I spell it wrong?
Well, I mean,
I don't even
I
know my
would
own
think
website.
like
Hufferfest, HUFRFEST.com. Yeah, so I made a website and then I had to set
that's
up
impressive.
the little buttons and everything so people could pay through Venmo or PayPal. And I'm not going to do it that way next year. That's part of my learning curve. It's like, oh yeah, it's just a ridiculous way to do that. But I appreciate all the people that have like put up with a weird process. But it's not really weird, man. But you
You don't
know
have a
what?
credit card?
What's that?
You don't have a credit card thing set up?
No, man, and so that's what I'm gonna do next year, and so yeah, so that's a problem, and so
Yeah,
that's part of my learning. So
yeah.
I didn't want to like people that pay a bunch of fees, and now I'm like, oh, I think people should pay some fees because I think they're gonna be happier if they do, because some of those fees go to pay some pretty cool things. So um
And yeah, it's either they pay or you pay.
yeah, right. So
And if you're
so
running on a budget, it can be, it's not like your tickets are that much. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So right. So that was part of the learning thing, but I had to learn to set all that up, and it was like useful and like
I'm
I
sure
can
that was stressful.
fuck yeah, it
Yes,
was.
totally.
Because I'm like almost 60 years old, and like I may not be like I'm not a super computer
Most,
nerd kind of guy or
yeah.
anything. So it's like um and then like working with artists was way more fun than I thought it would be. But I remember the first time I sent an artist an idea and they sent me back something that was just like not what I was thinking about at all. And I
Right.
was like, no, I was like, we quit, cancel the show. It's over. We shouldn't even like, and people are like, just talk to the artist and tell them what you want. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Then I did that, and then I got exactly what I was looking for, and so that all that's like stuff like that. Like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, I know it appears that I'm a super outgoing, extroverted person, but in my real life, I'm not necessarily like that. And so for me to meet a whole bunch of new people and learn a bunch of new things, it was challenging.
Yeah.
Um, it was challenging for me to like go out and integrate myself into the Denver scene and like talk, I always went to shows, but I never talked to any of the bands or talked to anybody at those shows. So it was like I needed to now because wanted to
Have
like
you been
have
doing
those.
it? Trying it?
Yeah, it's a
Talking to
blast, and I
strangers?
have a whole bunch of new friends, and
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
great time every time I go to a show now, and
You have
know a bunch
flyers?
of people, and
You
yeah,
can hand them.
we have these handy dandy little flyers right here, and
Did you update with the band change, or you're just gonna you print up so many you got to go with that?
this is the most this is I don't have the most updated one in my hand, but we do have the new one out with Buzzard Fight on it.
Mhm.
And we were really lucky. I know this is about your show, but we got these. Buzzard Fight is on the official poster
There we
here.
go.
We were lucky enough that that had not gone to print.
Oh, I don't even put that stuff to print till like the week before.
We felt
It's
like
a
this
quick
was
turnaround.
so we this was like we didn't feel comfortable waiting any longer. So no band is allowed to drop out at this point. I'm probably drinking some myself and
Oh
knocking on some
no.
wood. But you know what, man? Shit happens, and like I don't know, man. I'm at this point. I feel really confident it's going to be really like a super fun show. Like I'm finally to the point where I can think about, man, I'm going to get to see Godzillionaire again. I get, they're going to like play with Luna Soul again, and like how awesome that was when I saw him at your show,
Yeah.
and like Blue Hair is a huge thing for me, and then the local bands like Coburnoid and Lost Relics, and Lordville. I love to go see these bands all the time, Asivor, and I my a friend of mine is opening the whole show, Vashon Seed, and like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he's the only band that Nirvana has opened for that's playing at my show. So he's back in the old Seattle days.
I
Nirvana
remember
opened
reading
for
up
his
on
band.
them. We talked
Yeah,
about it.
it's super
Yeah.
cool. So um, I just want people to come and have a good time. That's really the big thing. So I like
Yeah.
just want people to. I don't want the bands to have a good time too. So
Of course. They're gonna
yeah,
have a good time if there's people there having a good time. Um, Production side of things, is Zeth taking care of that side of it with the
Zeth.
venues and
Yeah,
the
Zeth is
production
really so
schedules?
Zeth put us in contact with this venue, Bar 404. Bar 404 has been absolutely amazing to us. They're enthusiastically promoting the show, which is just such a bonus. And then Zeth set up a back line and bought some new drums, and our the drums are. I don't even want to talk about the drums. It's badass, and we've got a sound guy that Zeth trusts that I've heard in Denver that does a really good job.
Have
We've
you set up? You haven't set
what's
up the production schedule yet, have you?
that's Zeth. I'm looking out in the distance like I can see him. Um, yeah, I don't know what that is. So maybe.
Yeah. It's setting up when load in is.
Oh yeah. We're good
Sound
on all that.
checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you even have to time it out. To some degree, because not every band's going to get an actual
Well,
sound
and we
check
have like Buzzard Fight,
set
for example.
times and
Yeah,
there's a
yeah. So
whole run of house they call it.
yes, so I unfortunately I am promotions.
Good. I mean, you set up a lot of stuff. So, anyways, we'll
Yeah,
chat
man, but I'm
later.
gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm
Be
excited.
there hauling stuff around and
You don't need to be doing that. Why would you be hauling stuff
I'm
around?
old and weak.
What?
I'm
You're
old
not.
and weak. I can't do that anyway. So
You're not. You need to haul your merch in with the help of your merch.
I do. We
Got
have
merch on your
merch.
yet?
Yeah.
Who's on
So
merch?
t-shirts will be here by the end of the week. We did posters. Oh, I
You
showed
got
you
someone who's
already,
going to
but
sell it
we
at the
have some
show?
condoms. The condoms will be free, obviously, because they're going to be fucking free. God, safe plowing, horrible jokes. Yeah, we thought about doing a bunch of stuff, but you know what, man? I thought back to talking to you, and I'm like, man, I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm screwing myself over and losing a shit ton of money on buying a bunch of merch that I think will be cool, and then I go home and I have like, well, I guess I got 50 Hufferfest bongs. Fuck. So, so we
Yeah,
decided
there's a good amount of shirts in certain sizes. A couple of the designs, one or two of the designs are completely out. So
I love that
to sell.
Fox one. The Fox one was my favorite, so I bought that one. And
It's
then
not a fox.
it was so cool. I love
It's not a fox.
What is it? A
Fuck.
coyote?
Yeah,
My
desert.
bad.
Fox. What am I,
It's a
England?
fox.
Hello in bloody England with the fox hunting and shit? No. It's a
John,
coyote, man.
I live in Colorado. We don't have wildlife here.
You should have coyote there, for God's
We
sake.
do.
And wolves.
We actually
for
had a
Lord.
coyote running down my street like 3
Yeah.
months ago. Yeah, so yeah.
Jesus.
No
I'm going to tell
bears, yeah.
Joey that you said that. He's going to be pissed. Joey Riddell, my
Tell
artist.
Joe that
Joey.
Tell Joe that I think I have
Joey, not
German
Joe.
shepherds, but I actually have dachshunds, so I don't know shit about dogs.
Wow.
No, I don't. I'm kidding. I do.
Okay.
But I feel bad about the fox thing now. Damn it. All right, we'll let that one.
Joey is his name, not Joey. Joe. It's not Joe. It's Joey.
Sorry, Joey.
Yeah.
My bad, dude.
Let's make sure we get.
I've only talked to your brother, man.
Right. Yeah.
Your brother's awesome. Hey, Daniel's out there. Thanks for watching, Daniel. Appreciate you, man. Seth. Oh, here's Seth. Answered your question about the production stuff, and he says, yes, we are all good, baby. So.
Yeah. I figured he was the one who's going to do that part of things.
Dude, I like literally. So there's no way I could do this without Seth. Like, I mean, I can't give that guy enough credit. Like, I wouldn't even known what to ask. So the show's gonna be awesome.
He's the one that talked you into it, so he's obviously has a good idea of what his strengths are and what he brings to the table as far as experience. Yeah. When I first started doing shows, I didn't know shit, and I had like 3 female promoters that were, bookers that I worked with, and they just beat the shit out of me until I figured it out. I mean, honestly, it was not always fun.
I love it. Yeah,
I mean, I'm friends with all of them now, but yeah, it was. I'm like, and then I'm fucking repeating mistakes, and oh god. But
yeah,
you know, you get better eventually. The
I-
carrot and the stick. That's for sure.
I thought for a long time I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do a second one. I did. You know what? It was like I was like, if I'm going to do a second one, I should probably think about getting some stuff. And then the longer it went, it was like, well, shit, I don't have to learn that next year. And I already know how to do that now. And I already have the website thing. And I already know where I fucked up with the ticket thing. And so it's like, yeah, I'm going to do it next year. I mean, I think they've sold enough tickets that it's gonna be successful. And
I'm hoping,
because there's no money back. You don't get but
no, don't get credit for the next year.
Yeah, so I think it'll be I just hope it gets to be more fun, but I think it'll be more fun for me next year. Like,
you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, like this year was a lot of stress.
So I looked at flights yesterday. You know, I'm gonna make it like a 3-part flying experience. I'm going to go with my mom first in Oklahoma. Likely see High Desert Queen while I'm there in Tulsa.
Oh, that's
just
sweet.
Small venue I see a lot of shows at.
Oh,
and then, come out for 3 nights there in Denver. And then fly back home.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Like, honestly, John, that really
of
just
course,
means so much. It's going to be, dude, there's going to be.
I owe it to you first off. Secondly, I want to go. Third, it's gonna be super cool to hang out with, Dave and Luna Soul.
Sure. Yeah,
Jeff, you included.
Mark,
and then hang out with Godzilla and Air again.
Yeah.
Mark is such a funny and cool guy. The whole band's got a lot of character to him.
Absolutely.
And I know Sonolith and Psalm obviously very well. I see him all the time. So I know those dudes, and I think I know some of the other bands a little
Well,
bit.
man, we'll have Jad from Blues Funeral, so lead singer for Blue Heron will be
No, I
there,
know.
and Ricardo Sanchez is like an amazing
One
person.
of one of the most fun drummers I've ever watched.
Absolutely. I had a great interview with Gabe Gambino from Violet Rising the other day. I'm looking for really forward to seeing that band again for one thing, and seeing that band with him on guitar. Um, and man, the guys from Hibernaut from Salt Lake City, I'm excited to meet those guys. And
Yeah, that'd
you
be
know,
interesting.
like we have a interesting guest list coming, and Jason's coming down from Grand Rapids Doomfest, and Braun Dabney's coming out from Legalized Lex. And so, like, it'll be a good opportunity to get to meet a lot of really cool people and have some drinks and smoke a little bit. Colorado, apparently that's available here. I don't know anything about that.
No, you don't know anything about it except you work in place. But yeah, it's fun to have your peers and people like that coming out as well. I know I
Yeah,
appreciate that
for
a
sure.
lot. I mean,
Yeah,
Brian
it means a lot.
Garney, went to my festival a number of times without playing it. JJ comes,
Oh, yeah, so cool.
Dan came out this year and had a blast, and
He's great, dude.
Jam
Yeah,
Yeti, it's super cool having them. And Doom Tomb podcast is Beck. He's been there a number like the last few years, and posts a lot of cool video. It's almost always video from the front row, so you're like
that's
right
so.
there.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
so I'm honored when I got people like that, coming
Debbie
in. And
Lee is coming to my show.
who?
Debbie Lee.
Debbie is, yeah,
Dude, that
cool.
puts the pressure on. It's like, oh, Debbie's coming to my show. This better be
I'm
fucking good.
yeah, I was just hanging out with all those guys.
I
Josh was
love
there.
hanging out with all. That's
Oh man,
literally like you guys. Okay, so if you've never been to one of these things, I know I say this all the time, but if you like never been to any like Doom Fest, like, whether it be Grand
don't use
Rapids or
word
Ripple
doom.
Fest or
Just this a
yeah,
heavy rock fest
if
from the
you've never
underground.
been to one, man, like the people is real. I mean, the bands are great, but like you meet the coolest people and you will make friends, and like the social aspect of it for me, or John's show is John talks about get in and see, because the social aspect is really addicting at these
It
shows.
is.
You'll make friends for life.
A lot of people do
You'll
pre-show, where they meet up and get bites to eat and all
Oh,
that,
I
or
did that
a
every day.
happy
Every
hour
day that we were
beforehand
there,
for
we did
some.
that. Yep.
Yeah, the
Oh man,
Evil Pie was like a meetup for a bunch. You know what I
dude, I
mean?
got to hang out with Jason Walker before one of the nights, and we like hung out for like an hour and a half
Jason
with
Walker?
Seth. Yeah, we like hung out at one of the casinos downtown, and I had a great conversation about music and how he was researching a lot of classical artists and using like chord progressions and harmonies and stuff that he's picked,
Oh yeah, he,
and he's just a fascinating guy,
uh,
and like you just get to meet the just very interesting people, and so go to, like, if you're in Denver, I hope you come to my festival. If not, man, find your
yeah.
way
I
to
mean,
Las
how much is
Vegas.
it a night?
What? Oh, it's a small venue, man, so we're like
So how much is it?
it's $25 for a
Come
night.
on,
It's
that's it.
65
Once
bucks for
again,
the
these
weekend.
are, yeah.
It's cheaper than dinner. It literally, a weekend
Well,
pass is cheaper than two people going out to dinner in Las Vegas.
yeah, that's not very
Right?
hard to do, dude.
Right?
I
I mean,
mean,
it's not that bad, right?
no, 25 is awesome. What the
Yeah,
fuck, man?
exactly.
Anyways,
Yeah.
let's
That's
okay.
enough about me. Let's recap your show, dude. Today.
What do you want me to say? You want me to
John's
say something
huge
more? I don't
announcement.
know.
John's
Okay, I'll
huge
give you
announcement.
something.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Steak is, I think, already worked through a lot of their upcoming album. So, sure as they bands always do, they'll play something new live at the show, which of course means they're going to take a song out from their other sellers. I haven't made my request to them yet.
We'll make
I'm going
it
to do
good.
it because last time I was like, "What? You're not playing this? Oh my god!" I was like,
Here's
kind of like. So I got to make sure because there's
my
one
request
song
to
that
Steak is bring a lot of vinyl. That's my request.
yeah, that'd be a good question how they're doing. Obviously, they got the Ripple connection where if Ripple has
Yeah. Oh
inventory,
yeah.
they can hook them up as well. But yeah, and listen, there's an album Steak has. This is when I got in the most. That came out on like Nuclear Blast or Napalm, something with an N, one of those N's.
Okay.
And that was their big label, thing.
Yeah.
And that album was damn good. Slab City, I think it was.
Okay. We'll have to
Yeah.
go hunt it down.
Arthur C.
So
produced.
I wasn't really familiar with those guys. I mean, I heard them on it, but like I dove in after you did your first show announcement, and it's like I freaking love those guys. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean, their last album
so
is extremely
badass.
but Sean, the last Stick album is for the most part extremely different than their previous.
No, I went back. I went back,
Right.
man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
because I think Reese T, who's the guitarist, he's creative and has a lot of influences, guitar work wise and all that. He's also the guy who runs the Desert Fest series in London and everywhere else. And they just come up with these things because I mean, the last album they literally brought in a second guitarist, and he sang certain parts and melodies and so on. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think that's the ones you punch out of England with Stake and Sergeant Thunderhoof. It's there's going to be a lot of creativity in what happens there,
Yeah.
in professionalism at the same time. I'm really excited, and Stake obviously, and I think by then, who knows, Sergeant Thunderhoof will have some new songs. So, but they've already told me they'll play those two songs. So.
I love those guys so much, and they're such great guys on top of it.
Yeah.
So,
Nice, fun British guys. They got already a couple Brits coming over with them, to the
is
show.
Ian coming back? Do we know? Do we know if Ian's
I
going to
don't
make
know
the
yet.
trip?
He
Man, you
seems
gotta
a
make it,
little
dude.
tepid of late on hitting any shows.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Man,
mean, over
I'm
here.
excited about it too.
Over
I-
here.
I'm absolutely thrilled about your show.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. And hey, I've never even seen Brimstone Coven, so they've been around. I've been a fan of them for years, and I think that's gonna be, and that'll be a way different sound than a lot. I mean, I think all the bands have some uniqueness to it. There's some common threads, but I think it's not gonna be we'll position the sets, where it's not gonna be the same shit, right? I mean, there's never shit to begin with. I shouldn't even say it. So it's just not, it's gonna have some ebbs and flows along the way.
I think I like the way you make a show breathe like that. So hell yeah.
I try.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. I think
Dude,
Carson's gonna sneak up on a bunch of people. They're doing a little tour over in Germany. They're kind of younger band, also kind of younger, meaning they're probably in the 30s,
I was gonna say, what are they, 30?
maybe, and but their last two albums have been like, and I liked them when the first album, but there's been a different direction, kind of sort of the last two albums, and feel a little more tight on production, and it's really good. Catchy stuff. I played some when on the road trip to Mojave Experience.
Yeah.
I got a ride over with Brian Moy from Dirty Rock and Roll Dance Party, one of the promoters here. And so me and
Right
him
on.
drove us over. Eventually I took over the road trip soundtrack, we'll say. And I played Carson a number of times, and that was one of the ones he leaned in on,
They're good.
along with Siena Root, which I was just testing because I didn't even have him booked. And he's like, I really, really like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
cool.
they're really, really good.
Yeah, and Carson's just good, like just
Yeah.
good, catchy.
That was a great
heavy
set.
rock. Like
I
the guy
enjoyed
can
it.
sing.
Yep.
They got cool rhythm section, female bassist that's going off. I've seen some
She was
videos.
awesome.
She's active. She's in there. I think those kind of bands. I'm always excited to get bands I think are really good, but just haven't grown that much. Like a band I would love to have, they just can't afford it yet, is Tidal Wave. And I'm the one that
I would love you to have them too, John.
I lined them up for Ripple to begin with, so I have a vested interest. I keep up all the time. I'm like, hey, dude, and there's always this one. Anyways, they gotta figure out a
They need to
couple
give you
things.
that line them up for Ripple discount.
What
They need to give you that you lined them up for Ripple discount.
discount? No. Anyways, it's just numbers game. But like they're a band I want
Yeah.
to get out there to be because the guy can sing. The guy's got huge pipes, man, and they got those fat, thick riffs that just
It's
keep you grooving.
I like that you say it's a band that I want you guys to all listen to. Like that's the bands I like look for in my region that I thought would come and play this show, or bands that I love that I want other people to hear too.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, man, you're one of the people I know that has like you have some of the best taste in music of anybody I know. And it makes it easy to go to your show because I know that like, yeah, I appreciate your taste in music and I'm just not gonna hear some wild ass shit. So
That's the biggest, honestly, that's one of the biggest compliments from my perspective I can get. I'm very fortunate that you're not the only one to tell me this. So I'm like,
yeah,
that
it's
I think is a heavy driver in some ways of my belief in because you got to get positive feedback and see positive results kind of to keep motivated too. It's tough being a loser. And I mean loser as in like, you're pacing real low on tickets or people aren't really paying much attention to what you're doing.
right.
There's things like that. You're not getting any positive feedback at all. That stuff it's part of the nature of being a creator and a promoter of anything within our show
Sure.
realm. You could just be I stopped doing shows in Vegas. Like I don't book bands for
Right.
shows anymore because it wasn't gratifying because people weren't showing up enough. It never made financial sense. I lost money. I'm not doing this to give away money. I love the band,
For sure. Dude,
but
I don't know
if the
about you.
people
Well, I
aren't
do know
into
about
it,
you, but I don't have money to give away.
yeah,
So I can't afford to do that.
it's all a
So
gamble.
yeah.
But
Reasonable gamble though.
you
It's
just
like playing
gotta.
poker.
If you don't get people coming, then you're like, all right, well, there's 3 or 4 different things. You probably got to list them out and then go, all right, how can I maybe work on that a little differently? And so,
Yeah, for
listen,
sure.
I got
Absolutely.
lucky, Sean. I worked for a Fortune 500 company starting right 1 year out of college. And it's one of the best companies you could work for in the nation. It's always has been. The stock is blowing up, which I'm so thankful for, as I bought stock back then.
Good for
But
you.
they a lot of it was about coming up with resolution and results, and
Yeah.
so the critical thinking's involved and really looking inward a lot because as soon as you point a couple fingers at someone else, you get like a big finger right back at you, or maybe a middle finger instead.
I will think. I think that I spent 25 years in corporate world and worked for a Fortune 500 company as well.
Yeah,
I didn't do what you did, but you know what? Yeah, I think there's a lot to be learned from that type of environment. And there's some things that also needed to unlearn too. It's like, oh
yes,
man, because because I worked for a really conservative corporation. It's like, man, I want to take some chances, but they have to be, like you've talked about, they have to be reasonable chances, and you just can't do things on a whim. I think it's been the other thing I really learned from working in a corporate environment, especially was the value of working for me in a team and having
yeah.
some other brains going and having some other people check me when I'm fucking totally like I have a crazy idea. They're like, "That dude, no, don't do that." And here's why. And it's like it's good to have some people,
You were a
ground
stoner
me a
back
little
then
bit
too,
too.
right?
What's that?
You were a stoner back then too.
Oh yeah, dude. I have
I
been a stoner since I was. The only time I quit smoking weed was when I was in the army because they told me
Yeah.
I'd go to jail if I didn't. So
Yeah,
I
it's
was
weird.
like,
They got weird rules about it.
yeah, that was a motivator for me, man. I was like, I can quit.
Yeah, I used to be, I clean cut, gelled hair back,
Oh yeah.
was thinner back then.
Yeah,
Much
nobody knew
darker
I was
hair.
a stoner.
And
Yeah.
and dressed pretty good. No tie or any of that bullshit ever, if I could help it. I never had a job where I had to wear a tie other than
No,
one.
but dude, I
And
did have
and
to wear a
but I'd go
collar.
home and do bong hits with my roommates and
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the makeup of Gen X is we learned that you could be a perception of one thing, but then have this other stuff going on. And so I
Yeah.
was a headbanger the whole time too, a short hair
Same,
headbanger.
same. And
And
like when I
but we learn this multitasking thing along the way, the duality thing.
Yeah.
A lot. And so it's just constantly, this festival thing, it's just going to be a constant learning experience. I mean, there's
It's fun.
things like
Yeah.
I may try to run ads again on YouTube. I haven't done that. I did it a couple years ago, and the tracking wasn't good, so I really was like never like, sure what was coming from it. So, but I'm probably give it a go. But that'll be new for me, and the setup and all that's not much different than what I've been doing for 10 years on Facebook. But
But
there
I
are
got a
things that I have to
TikTok
challenge
account.
myself with. I need to go find sponsors, and I'm
But I
scared.
got a TikTok account. Do you have a TikTok
I don't have a
account?
TikTok, but I should.
Yeah, it's pretty fun actually.
It's not even the
Sponsors
Chinese anymore, right? So now we can do it.
yeah, dude, it's like exactly. Yeah,
Larry
now that-
Ellison now.
Now
Like,
somebody
you
else can steal
control
my
part of the world,
information.
brother.
I don't know what they're stealing from me that's so valuable.
I don't
but
really give a shit. Finding out my demographics and my likes aren't going to be hard because I don't hide it. You know what
They
I
just
mean?
have to read my profile.
I'm not into ball gags, so I don't think about ball gags. You know, right?
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, so it's been fun, like learning all kinds of new avenues and stuff like that. Like I never would thought I had a.
We're going to
TikTok
talk
account,
about
but-
it. We're going to talk about it, and I promise that.
Yeah, well, tell you what. Let's let people go. They know Siena Root and freaking Mothership. We're gonna be playing fucking Planet Desert Rock 7. Insane, John. You're doing a great job, man. I can't wait to go to Vegas. But it's my that's the annual trip, man. Like some people
awesome.
like to go stand out in the 110-degree heat, and believe me, I'll do it every once in a while. But man, I'm going to Vegas in the winter and going to
The winter?
eat some good food and like hang out in 65-degree weather. So
I can't believe, like, I had 60 something, like 65 as
dude,
a
it was
high
it was
the year
hot.
before.
There was a day.
This year was 70, like 4 or something.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I should have brought shorts. Yeah.
And remember, it was like a horrific, like ice storms and snowstorms all around the country. I had people like miss flights.
That's right. You're right.
And they get here and they can wear shorts. It's so crazy.
Dude,
Yeah,
the Wilkersons
baby,
like
Vegas.
came from like the great northern regions of the United States, and they were thawing out, and they were like, thank
New
God.
York's.
Yeah,
A bunch of New Yorkers were there.
Oh, yeah,
Chicago
dude.
people. A couple of them wearing shorts. I'm like, I don't know, dude. It's cold at night, man.
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't wear
I'm
shorts.
gonna go. It drops at night in the out in the
It's
West
the
Coast.
desert people.
Yeah, in West Coast in general, it's a little chillier even when I'm in LA and San Diego at night versus during the day when it's 73 and sunny.
Yeah, dude.
After it's burned
Dude.
through the. But yeah, man.
Bring a jacket to Denver too, because it might be warm during the day, but we got the same thing, man. Once that sun goes down, it gets chilly fast. So
Yeah.
all right, buddy.
Okay.
Well, hey,
Well, everyone, thank you for listening and hanging out with me and Sean,
thank you guys.
talking about rock and roll and talking about Planet Desert Rock and
Planet
Hufferfest, which is coming
Thank
up. End of what's the exact dates?
Dude, April 24th through 26th. Come and see John Gist, MC.
No, it's
for,
not
oh, I
me.
know, I'm just kidding.
Come hang out with me, sure.
Man, we're gonna have a bunch of kick-ass bands, you guys. 17 bands over 3 days, infinite riffs. Come and enjoy yourself, and then you know what? Meet some cool people, make some friends, and then go to Vegas and hang out with those same people again in a few
We'll
months.
get to that later.
Yeah, right on,
Let's
buddy.
just
All
have
right,
a
man.
good time in Denver.
All
We
right,
got
thanks
cool
for listening.
peeps.
Go ahead.
We got cool peeps in the bands. A lot of the bands coming to Denver as well to offer a rare opportunity to see Luna Soul and Godzillionaire. These are not bands that are going to go out on big tours.
Right.
So catch, and they're
In
Godzillionaire
a
was like a
small,
top 5 album.
intimate venue, like
Yeah.
it's a small, it's like a small place, and you guys like it makes for a great show. So
It's gonna be
thanks,
great.
John. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, bud.
Cheers
All right.
to the weekend.
Yeah. All right, hang on, everybody. I'm gonna let you all go. John, you hang on for